ever since I was a kid, bro, I just stayed in my lane, bro. You know what I mean? Because I knew, once again, like I was saying, I knew there wasn't a lot of people that could really understand it out here, where I came from, all the shit I had to deal with. But now I know, bro, that it's actually dope, bro. Like, you know what I mean? When you're a kid, you don't...
All right. Pay attention. We're going to teach you something real special today. This is two coins with my boy Wally, then Ronnie, wherever you're at, we're at. Showing two sides of the same coin. Let me know what y'all think. 2 coins. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter today.
And welcome back to the 2 Coin Podcast. It's your boy Ronnie.
And I'm your brother Wally, the other side of the coin. Today's episode is brought to you by Badmon Fitness.
Badmon.
The gentleman that runs it is sitting to my right, and I'm going to let him give a brief introduction and let us know who he is.
What's going on? It's Badmon Fitness over here. My name is Aaron. I am a NASM personal trainer and certified nutrition coach.
Hey, you can lean back, bro.
Okay. It'll pick it all up? Okay,
it's picking it up for you to chill.
You got the best mic.
I guess I got the best mic, but yeah, you know, I'm excited to be here, tell y'all a little bit about my fitness journey, tell y'all about some of the other stuff I do, kind of how it all comes together.
Yeah, longtime friend of the show, bro. We definitely appreciate your support.
Right on,
and like we said, a one-time guest on the show is a permanent fixture whenever you want to come on.
Man, bro, I'll kick it off like this, bro, because this is something, I was talking to my boy about this, right? Like, me and this fool, like, we randomly connected, but I don't know the origin story. I can't think of the origin because we never knew each other in high school.
Back in high school.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Barely.
But it was like, but even then, I don't remember that because I remember it as our circles connected when they went to DVC and you went to DVC.
Yeah.
So that one summer when I came back, that's when that's what I remember as us kicking it. But it's crazy. Then we ended up chopping it up about crypto and then, you know what I mean, just life and everything.
Yeah.
And it was one of those, I'm like, damn, bro, this dude's a genuine soul. I feel like I've known this motherfucker for like my whole life type thing.
Yeah, it's real talk. You know
what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, we can go into the origin story if you want to.
Go for it.
Yeah, brody. Yeah.
So, I mean, like, I think, like, kind of when we were barely in high school, like leaving high school, I was dating this chick that y'all knew because she went to Northgate.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. When I was dating Audra for a minute. Audra Byrne. Because she pulled up to YV, and then that's kind of how I first kind of met y'all initially.
Damn, okay.
Yeah.
So, see, the thing with old girl, I never really, like, I wasn't tight with her like that.
Yeah,
that was, like, Steven and all that, you know what I mean? Yeah. But that's crazy. Okay.
And then we pulled up to DVC. That's a community college. Obviously, I don't know if you know where DVC is.
Diablo Valley College. That's the college up in Concord, Walnut Creek.
Yeah. And we just, like, I don't know, bro, it was lit. We just started turning up, like, instantly. It was nonstop turn up back then.
Bro, I missed that summer, bro. So that summer, it was like we graduated, right? And then I was out there for a week. And then I went to India for the whole summer. Yeah. And then when I came back, I was there for a week and I dipped out to San Jose.
Yeah.
So it was like... That was one of the summers, like, bro, I heard y'all got it lit out, you know what I mean? Yeah. First off, I don't regret it just for the fact that, you know, I got to be with my family and whatnot. That was, like, the longest I'd been there since I became an adult, you know what I mean? 3 months by myself out there.
Yeah.
Different experience. But I remember at the time, I'm like, yo, this is my last summer before I leave. Like, I'm trying to kick it with the homies. Like,
that was your last summer before coming to San Jose State?
Yeah, so I was only with them for, like, 2 weeks.
Damn.
Bro.
That crew is lit, too, so... Sidebar, but salute to Steven, Kofi, Ali, and all them.
My guys, bro. I miss y'all, bro. We be thinking about y'all when we turn up stuff.
Can't forget about Nick, the day one.
Yeah, the homie Nick Allen.
Brother from another mother.
Nick is a real one. Nico, my guy.
Yup.
Yeah, Nico.
Hey, so are you and Nico, like, partners on Badmon?
Well, Nico is kind of basically he's basically like family to me, low-key. Because one of my cousins is cousins with Nico.
Oh, shit, okay,
so
okay.
Nico's he's like one of my, he's basically like a day one to me too. But yeah, no, I mean, we're not partners. He's just like really he fucks with
us. Yeah, he fucks with the brand. Yeah.
But I feel like, bro, I got a lot of people
that fucks with the vision.
That fuck with the vision, which is cool as fuck. Because, you know, it takes a lot to kind of especially in a place like this where there's not a lot of people that might necessarily know what the fuck Badmon really is or what it stands for.
Yeah.
To have people kind of stand behind you, that means a lot, bro. It really does. You know, even y'all having me out here, that's real shit, bro. You know what I mean? You know, because it's once again, not a lot of people really would know the vision or really understand what this shit's about. So to have people just kind of that aren't necessarily directly connecting culturally to it, to just like full send it with me, but that's real shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's real shit.
Well, I mean,
So
you've been not even to cut you off, but just to jump on that, you've been a long time supporter of the podcast. Like that's that's given. You like every post, so we had to get you on, bro.
And it's crazy, bro. You've been supporting it like from the jump.
From the
so,
jump.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pre-YouTube, pre-SoundCloud. I mean, pre-Apple, like all that shit.
So it's definitely very appreciated.
Yeah, bro, I got y'all, bro. I know how it is, bro. Like to go out your way to start some shit like that, bro. It takes a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you gotta support the people that support you, bro.
That's what's up.
Otherwise,
bro.
you're a faker. You know what I mean?
That's genuine, bro.
Yeah, real talk, bro. You know.
Hey, but real quick, break down Badmon for you know what I mean
All right.
for everybody.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I mean, shit, bro. I said I was gonna come up here and say some hella corny about it, so I'm gonna just say something corny real quick. Badmon is a state of mind. You don't choose Badmon; it chooses you.
Hell yeah.
But nah, real talk though, bro. I really wanted to find something that I felt like was culturally relevant to myself, but could also be relevant to, I guess, other people. You know, I feel like, you know, like my family's from the Caribbean, and like, you know, like Badman is kind of like, I guess, like the same thing as like a bad boy. So it's the type of image, like a cool guy.
It's part of the Caribbean lingo.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And I wanted that to kind of like, I guess maybe connect to other people that were wanting to transform their lives, like with fitness. You know, like a lot of people go through some crazy shit. And they're like, you know, like I really want to like take that pain essentially and like use it to propel myself in fitness, not just in fitness, but like in everything in life, you know? So it's kind of like, in a way, kind of like a rebellious way to like full send it. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like playing on like the rebellious attitude kind of given to when you first are like essentially taking L's. You're like, no, I'm not trying to take no L's no more. Bro. I'm trying to be a bad man. You know what I mean? And that's kind of where it initially stemmed from. Like where I was like, you know, like, you got to show people like, well, I actually started off with Rude Boy when I was younger, but then it ultimately evolved into Badmon. But yeah, that's kind of I feel like how it started initially.
So what is outside of the fitness and how it ties into the journey there?
Yeah.
What is the actual term Badmon when it's used like colloquially in like Caribbean lingo? What does that actually like translate to? What does it mean?
So I would say like, originally it was used to kind of describe like, you know, somebody who's like legit a badman, like, you know what I mean? Like it was originally used to like describe somebody like, you know,
in the streets.
Yeah, somebody in the street, somebody who's like, I guess like a real
thug,
gangster,
like a G,
you know. But then I think it kind of like, you know, kind of evolved to similarly to how that word might be used, like gangster might be used, like
it's
in
gangster
the
to
States.
take care of your
Yeah,
kids.
you know what
It's
I mean?
like-
Yeah, so it kind of evolved in the same way, kind of synonymously, like is that, you know what I mean? Like, you know, people kind of start saying, "Oh, he's a badman," like as in like that's gangster of you to do something dope like that. You know what I'm saying?
Like he's him.
Yeah, he's him. Like it's like
It's crazy how words change over time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
First, it was like there was a definite like, nah, bro, you in the streets. This why is that. Now it's just like, oh man, you really thugging it.
Yeah.
What are you thugging? Oh man, you know, I woke up today. You know, what I mean, got some push-ups in. You know, made some breakfast. That ain't thugging it.
Yeah.
No, but I like the whole meaning that you were explaining behind why you decided to call it Badmon.
Yeah.
And given the whole background as to what the word means.
Yeah.
Because maybe you guys will disagree, or maybe I'm off base here. Let me know if I am. But I think there comes a certain point in every man's life to where, like you said before, you're taking L's and whatnot, and something clicks in your head to where you want to kind of transform and like evolve into like quote unquote Badmon, that guy. You know what I mean? And I feel like step one always starts in the gym. It starts in the physical, and then from there, after you get consistent with that, it bleeds into other areas of your life. I can speak for myself personally. When I decided to I want to change my life around and change my state of mind, that started with going in the gym.
Yeah.
Gym gave me the confidence to go pursue everything outside of that and be consistent with that.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that? And how has that kind of idea impacted your life personally?
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. I think that, like, a lot of times when basically we're taking L's or something like that, especially as men, like, you kind of, like, pivot to the gym. You know, like, it's kind of like, you know, we grow up seeing things like, you know, like Power Rangers and, like, Dragon Ball Z, bro. And, like, you see them go through something crazy, and then they always basically just get hella yoked or something like that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I think kind of, like, you know, maybe we're conditioned socially to do things like that as men. Just kind of people in general, I feel like maybe now, too. But, yeah, I 100% agree. I think that... you know, people kind of use fitness as a way to not just transform their body, but kind of their mind.
Their mind, yeah.
And that's why, like, a lot of times when people go through, I feel like crazy shit, like they go through like a transformation, not just their body, but like their mind as well. It kind of goes hand in hand. At least that's what I would want to push with something like Badmon, you know? Kind of like a full, I guess, transformative state, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, I feel that, bro. I mean, honestly, as far as like, it's something about like no matter how tired you are, and I've noticed it personally for myself. Like as now, like I force myself to like maintain a consistent schedule, even on like, because the way my week's set up, it's like Monday, Tuesday, and some Wednesdays, I'm off. You know what I mean? So it's like waking up 7:30, 8, it's easy.
Yeah.
Then it's just like Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, getting off at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
But still being disciplined to wake up at that 7.
Mm-hmm.
And doing the gym and doing all that, it all ties in together because it's like as tired as you may be, going to the gym and exercising out and releasing those, you know what I mean, those endorphins and whatnot, it kind of gives you more energy even when you're depleted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why they say like whenever
100%.
you come out the gym, like, you know what I mean, you feel refreshed.
Oh yeah.
No matter how ham you go. You
Oh
know
yeah,
what I mean?
for sure. Yeah, no, you do. You definitely like, you know, like. I mean, I don't know if we want to get into like what ultimately like made me really want to full send the brand.
Nah,
and all that.
bro, I don't want you talking about none of that shit.
Yeah, and like you know, but I don't know if I should get into it now.
Yeah,
or if I
go
should-
ahead.
Go for it, bro.
Yeah, no, like I
Ain't
mean,
nothing structured here, bro. Just
yeah,
We having a
yeah.
conversation.
Yeah. Well, so like, I mean, I always been into fitness and stuff. You know, like since I was a kid, that's something I naturally was doing. You know, I always like lifting, like you know, like playing sports, like having fun and shit. But yeah, no, I mean, recently, my pops got hella sick, kind of out of nowhere, and he passed away, and it was like the shittiest thing I ever had to like, experience in my life. Bro.
Rest in peace, bro.
Yeah, but R.I.P.
R.I.P.
You know, I want to bring like a little bit of awareness to that too. He got sick for something called glioblastoma. It's the most common brain cancer that you can get as an adult, and it's lethal, like pretty much inevitably. So you get it, and like you pretty much just like it just takes you off the map. Like they have no idea what causes it, none of it. Like it's just like you just chilling, and all of a sudden you just get this thing, and it just knocks you out. You know, it knocks you off the fucking map, bro. Fucking crazy. You know what I mean?
Damn.
So my pops got sick, and then like you know I was like, fuck, bro. Like you know I'm the type of person, for me, like I don't really like smoke or drink a lot, so my vice is like food, right? So like when I'm like, you know, sad and shit, like I just be eating, right? So I basically went on the bulk that went too far, you know what I mean? But I was sad, you know? So that's what happened. Like, you know, I just got hella sad. I got some before pictures that I'm gonna post eventually pretty soon, because I got a transformation video that's about to be crazy. But I'll show y'all the before pictures. I'll show y'all like away from the camera, so y'all, I know y'all reactions gonna be crazy, bro. But anyways, bro, like, you know, like, obviously I was really sad because my dad had passed away, of course, bro. You know, he a great guy. Like, he really, like, you know, did a lot for, like, not just me, but a lot of people, you know? And, like, you know, Ronnie actually was there for me a lot when that all happened. So big ups to Ronnie, real one, real Badmon. But, you know, so I appreciate it. But yeah, you know, and I kind of just took that because once again, I knew my vice was food. And I know a lot of people like have that same vice. A lot of people, when they get sad, they eat their feelings and shit, bro. You know, it's how it goes down, you know? So I was already, like I said, kind of lifting and eating a lot. I just basically took that sadness and just like, was like, yeah, bro, like I got to be a real one for not just me now. I got to be a real one for my pops, for his legacy, for everything. Exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I was like, that's kind of what really made me want to full send it and kind of like really turn it into a brand. You know, I also have like a degree in marketing too. So I was like, you know, bro, like I went to school for this type of shit. You know, like business, finance, and marketing, bro. I hear flexing degrees, bro. You know. But yeah, so I really wanted to make that happen because of that.
Let me ask you this though, and you don't have to answer if it's too personal of a question. But during your period of grieving, obviously it takes longer for some people than everybody's different, right?
Yeah.
But was there a moment in your life where it clicked that you had to channel those negative feelings into something more productive? Or was that always in the back of your head that you were going to do that eventually, you just needed to give yourself time to grieve?
I think it was probably a little bit of a combination of both. Like it was kind of like I did always kind of like, I think like, so when my dad passed away and people were reaching out to me, right? A lot of people were telling me like, bro, like a lot of people can either take this and be constructive with it, or a lot of people like will go down the wrong path and they end up like, you know, becoming waste man, basically, something like that. You know what I mean? I just knew in my head, bro, like, you know, like the legacy my pops kind of left for me. Like, but my dad was part of the team that designed the Bay Bridge, bro. Like he was like, you know, he was like this like super like, I guess, manly figure, some guy who came from nothing, came from a place in the Caribbean, had no fucking money when he came here. Like, and I seen him build, like, we were dirt fucking broke when we first came here from the Caribbean, but like, I'm talking like it was like 6 niggas in one bed, bro. Like, I don't know, like one room. I mean, you know what I mean? It was fucking like, we were dirt poor, bro, and I seen him like, you know, build shit up from nothing. So to see that, I always knew that I couldn't let myself be like, basically a waste man, bro. Like I knew when my pops passed away, I was like, but that's big ass shoes to fill, bro. You know what I mean? You know, like I know that his struggles, bro, like and kind of to see him overcome those struggles in such basically a phenomenal way, bro. I know I couldn't like basically just let myself be no waste man, bro. You know, so it was kind of like a combination of both, where it was like I was sad, so I knew I had to grieve. Yeah. But then in the back of my mind, I was like, yeah, bro, but I can't just like let this consume me, bro. I gotta like, you know, like be somebody like people would be proud of, not just my pops, but like the legacy he left behind, the people I feel like I got to take care of, like my people that take care of me. Like if I was to be a failure, like all that shit that they did to take care of me, bro, that would be like for nothing, basically. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
rest in peace to your pops, man. It seems like he really inspired you.
Yeah.
Molded you into the man that you are today, man.
Yeah. He's a real one, bro. That's facts, bro. That's facts, bro.
I was about to say, like, now it's been what, 2 years, 3 years?
It's been about a year and a half.
Two years.
About a year and a half,
a year and a half. So it's one of those, like, in that time right now, right? Like, grieving process wise, you know, some people say, like, obviously, the closest I've had to losing somebody like that is one of my cousins. But I couldn't imagine, like, you know what I mean, losing my father. But would you say it's gotten not easier as far as, like, you've already experienced the first, you know what I mean, the first Christmas without him, the first birthday without him? Like, you went through one full cycle.
So, like, one thing that I guess really stuck out to me that was said to me when my pops first passed away by my homegirl, Yesenia. Shout out Yesenia, you a real one.
Salute.
She told me that, because she went through something very similar. She told me that it doesn't necessarily get easier, you just get stronger. And I would say that's pretty true. It doesn't really get easier. You know, it still kind of hurts the same way. I still think about it, like, I guess similarly to the way I thought about it when it first happened. But you do really basically just develop kind of like some better tools and shit. You become better equipped, you know. Also kind of fits into the whole thing about how working out, you basically get better equipped, you know what I mean? That's basically how it happens. So it's like, I feel as if it just made me stronger ultimately, but it hasn't necessarily gotten easier, you know? That's what I would say. But I do think, like, I don't want to say it's like I'm not as sad, but it's like I once again I know how to kind of like move past that now. You know what I mean? And that's some shit, bro, where it's like, obviously if I didn't have people there for me, like if I didn't have like even y'all, bro, like you know, supporting me and all that shit, or my girl, shout out my girl, you know, she's fucking real as fuck. She held me down like the whole entire time, like just like real as fuck, you know what I mean? If I didn't have shit like that, I wouldn't have been able to develop those skills. But it really is like some shit where it can kind of make you or break you, you know? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you just got to take it and try to make it make you instead of breaking you, you know?
Did your pops know about Badmon Fitness and this brand, or was it just an idea around that time?
So I don't know if my pops would have necessarily been supportive of Badmon, like the name, you know? Because he was pretty straight edge when it came to shit like that. Okay. Like, he knew my personality, and I feel like he knew I was like, I guess kind of more rebellious, you know?
Typical immigrant.
But like, he, like I said, you know, this was a civil engineer, bro. Like, you know, he was manly, bro. He has a master's degree. Like, he went through hella mania and shit. Damn. Like, you know, he was just a real one, you know? He was like the only person in his family to go and do all that type of shit. And like I said, he really started from nothing. Like, a lot of people really say they started from nothing, but like, bro, like, Guyana was the poorest country in the whole Western Hemisphere when they moved to America, bro. Like, the whole, like, poorer than Haiti, bro. Like, you know, I know people be seeing pictures of Haiti and shit, bro. Like, at that point in time, Guyana was the absolute poorest country in the Western Hemisphere.
This was like, what, late 90s, early 2000s?
This was in the 80s, bro.
The 80s,
this was in the 80s, yeah. They came here in the 80s. And Guyana was just like, you know, just like dirt broke, you know, like that, like a bunch of my family's from the Southern Caribbean. So, you know, like from Guyana, from Trinidad, and from like the Virgin Islands. And like Guyana was by far like the most basically economically like unstable. So to see, I guess, like him come up from all that. But yeah, anyways, I think that he wouldn't necessarily supported the Badman like name, but he always wanted me to be like a business person.
Like, he understands the vision.
Yeah, he understood.
Call it something else.
Like, but you know, I had to like take it and put my own twist on it, bro. And I knew that, like, one thing he always used to say to me is like, you know, like, to try to like, I guess, take my own vision and make something out of it, you know? So, like, I was like, you know, I'm going to do it, you know? Yeah.
And, I mean, like, the name is probably just, like, a small detail. Like, the purpose and the vision where you're trying to go with it is crystal clear.
Yeah.
So, I guess my question would be, so you mentioned your dad was full Guyanese?
Yeah, but he's Guyanese, but his ancestors came from Europe, so he's European, but he's Guyanese,
And your mom's side of the family is from Trinidad, right?
My mom's side of the family is mostly Guyanese, but they're Trinidadian too. Yeah, so it's my mom's side of the family initially came from Guyana, and then they moved to Trinidad. A lot of them moved to Trinidad. A lot of them moved to Antigua, and a lot of them moved to the Virgin Islands and to the Bahamas.
Okay.
So that's why I feel more culturally connected to Guyana, even though I have family that's like not just Guyanese. A lot of my dad's family, kind of similar story, where originally they're from Guyana, but then they moved to like the British Virgin Islands, or they moved to like other parts of the Caribbean. So even though like technically I'm mixed with like other Caribbean islands, I still will always identify more as a Guyanese person. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Have you ever been back?
I've never been to Guyana. No,
you have any intent?
I would. I mean, I hear it's kind of mania out there, but
a little bit. But I mean, I've been seeing some stuff about it on the news when I watch here and there. It is still mania because, like you said, it's coming up from out the rubble.
Yeah.
But correct me if I'm wrong, but they just discovered some oil fields there, right?
They did.
So it's it's on the up and up, like it's about the boom economically.
Yeah.
And I don't know, from what I've seen,
crazy.
It seems like they have a pretty strong like leader for a president. Who's not allowing any like Western influence, like Shell and all these oil companies to come in and siphon all the profits out of it.
But how crazy is that? Like, you literally are worth nothing, and then it's like, oh shit, we got oil.
I think
that's how every Middle Eastern country started. But,
well, you know, one thing I wanted to touch on, like we were talking about before we actually started the podcast, is that like Guyana is geographically located in South America.
Northern South America. Right?
Yeah. No, borders the Caribbean, all that shit. And by the way, Trinidad is also located in South America. It's on the South American plate. Yeah. And I want to also point out that Barbados is in the Atlantic Ocean. But these are all Caribbean countries, you know what I mean? And like the reason why is because when Britain came, they basically colonized the places all like the same way. They brought slaves from Africa, like from the same ships to all these places. They took indentured servants from India to these places. They took like the same European colonists basically came to these areas. So even though Guyana, it's true to say Guyana is geographically South American. That's true. You can't debate that. It is in South America. But culturally, Guyana is a Caribbean place.
Way different.
Yeah, it is Caribbean. And on top of that too, Guyana has islands that come off of Guyana. So a lot of people want to say because it's mainland, it's not, it's Caribbean. But Guyana does have islands on it. Also, Belize is a mainland country that's Caribbean as well.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Belize. Well, that's how Caribbean people pronounce it. I don't know how like other people pronounce it.
I mean,
Americans say Belize.
I mean, that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
That's not a local saying. I don't know how the rest of the world say it.
Yeah.
So how do you say it?
Belize.
Salute to Shine if you know, you know.
Yeah, Belize. Yeah, no, like.
I always thought it was Belize.
Yeah. I mean, the Belizeans. I don't know. I mean, I feel like my girl, for example.
Burrito, Belize.
Yeah, my girl, for example, she tells me that because I grew up like my family spoke Creole or Patois.
Okay.
Both like it's kind of interchangeable. Creole and Patois are interchangeable. And like there's no Caribbean people here in Northern California really. Yeah. So like my girl tells me that some words I still say are basically still Creole or Patois words or how I pronounce them. Even though I don't know because I was born and raised here, bro.
Break it down. Give us an example.
I don't know. Like I think I say like documentary instead of like
documentary. That's Caribbean.
Yeah. Versus I feel like people don't usually say
documentary.
Like that. Yeah.
Documentary.
Yeah. But so she always be saying that.
Is your girl Caribbean too?
No, my girl is Hispanic.
Okay.
She's Hispanic, but like she's really like European looking Hispanic girl.
Okay.
You know what I mean? She's a real one, bro. She's the Ariana Grande looking type girl. She's beautiful. She's like just amazing woman. She, like all power and respect to her, bro. So grateful for her. Yeah, she's a trooper, bro. Like she a real one. That's one thing you can't really say about a lot of people in general. Like she's a trooper. You know what I mean? Like
long-term relationship. You guys met when y'all were like puppy love type shit.
I've been with Melissa like since I used to be throwing like frat parties in college, bro. Like I don't know, like I've been with Melissa like for like fucking 5 years now, bro.
Okay.
Like it's been a minute. Okay. Yeah. And like she like I was saying, bro, she just a real one. You know, like she holds it down like fucking through everything. You know?
How old are you? 29, right?
Yeah.
So like. What's your thoughts on? You said 5 years, so 24 to 29.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You held it down the whole time.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say this straight up, bro. In my past relationships, I was not necessarily the most faithful man, but with Melissa, it was different. Yeah. I kind of started feeling more like I was getting a little older. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like on top of that too, like I could tell she was a soldier from day one, bro. You know what I mean? Like you want like. in a relationship, bro, you want somebody who's gonna be a soldier, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Even though, like, as a guy, like, you know, you expect it to be a man and all that shit. Obviously, you still should, I guess, like, be a man or whatever you want to call it. But, like, anyone, like, you just want a strong person, bro, guy or girl, you know? Like, and I feel like if you meet, like, a strong person, it's rare to meet somebody who's genuinely strong. A lot of people strong, bro, but they just fucking, they pussy clots, bro. They know, a lot of people try to say they strong, you know? But a lot of them some real fucking pussy clots, yeah? And I feel like, you know, when you meet somebody who's really strong, bro, I'm talking like, bro, Melissa held it down for me so hard, bro, that like when my dad was sick, bro, she told her boss that if she didn't let Melissa take time off work, that she was gonna leave. Like, that's real shit.
Yeah, she's a real one.
Yeah,
Salute to her.
yeah, real talk, bro. And she works like a good job. It's not like some bullshit job, bro.
Yeah.
It's just like HR for some dope company.
That's
you know
what's
what I mean?
up, bro.
Yeah, like, you know, because me and Melissa met in college, you know, she got a college degree. She's a smart girl, all that shit too, you know? So, you know, but I can't say that being young, like when you young nigga, bro, like you have fun and shit. That's all
You
I
have
gotta say.
fun,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say. When you young, bro.
I mean, it's like what Zuri said, bro. Make mistakes quick. Make them fast.
Make mistakes quick,
yeah,
exactly. Because I feel like
yeah.
also just relationship-wise at that age, I feel like you don't really know what you're looking for.
At all.
Yeah.
And then you grow wiser and older, and then you realize, damn, I have a gym.
Yeah. Well, you know, like, I literally cheated on all my exes, bro. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, bro. I cheated on every single girl I had ever been with before, like, but it was, I'm not gonna lie, bro, it was lit. And like,
Real Badmon.
and like, you know, bro, I probably wouldn't go back and honestly, bro, if I could go back in time, I probably would have cheated more. Like, you know, I probably would. There's been a bunch of times where I didn't do it because I felt bad, bro. If I could go back in time, I probably would have. But it's not because like.
You're young, bro. You gotta get it out, man.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to make mistakes early.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those, like, how you look moving like that at 35,
Yeah,
40,
exactly.
45. Like, you a
Exactly.
grown-ass man hiding shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess we have this on the notes, too. We can get into it right now since we're kind of on the topic.
Yeah.
But from the outside looking in, as a dude who's already off the market for the past 5 years,
Yeah.
obviously you've probably seen, again, I'm saying from the outside looking in,
Yeah.
that the market and dating landscape has changed significantly for both men and women.
Yeah.
What
That's
advice?
true, because you was tied down pre-COVID and through post-COVID.
Yeah, bro, 2019, that's a whole different world back then, bro.
Super different.
Yeah.
I guess, what advice would you give to two single fellows like myself and Ronnie?
I mean, you know, bro, I think the biggest advice you could give anyone when it comes to dating, bro, is like, well, first of all, bro, be a Badmon.
Yeah.
But also, too, real talk, like, if you just be yourself, bro, like, I know that's super cliche, bro, but, like, I know that, like, now I think online dating is got a bigger presence, even though it was already big back then. I think a lot more people,
Way
you know what I
bigger
mean?
now.
Yeah.
It's bigger now.
Pause.
Big pause, but you know, like I think like back when me and Melissa met, it was pretty organic because I legit just had a party and like I told somebody to invite her and she came up to the party and like that was pretty much, it was a wrap, you know.
Yeah.
So that was super organic, and I think when relationships happen the most organic they can, it's more likely for them to work out. You know?
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. Plus, like, you want a dope origin story. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh man, tell me how y'all met. You know,
On the
swipe
phone.
left.
Yeah,
like the fuck?
yeah,
Or nah, I just
yeah.
slid in the DMs. Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather be like, damn, bro. Like, yeah, I was just kicking outside of work, and then boom, seen you walk by, like, or you know, I was at the grocery store type shit.
Yeah.
Dope organic story, like regular
Yeah.
people shit.
Yeah, and another thing too is like, you know, you gotta reciprocate the same energy. I feel, you know what I mean? A lot of people
100%.
like, yeah, a lot of people feel like they not reciprocating the same energy, and I feel like that leads to like, and that's with everything in life too, you know. But especially I feel like when it comes to relationships with other people in general, you know, you gotta give people the same energy they're giving you. Otherwise,
Give and take.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Otherwise, people are just gonna either give too much or take too much. It's not
Yeah.
gonna work out, or like, you know, that's why I feel like a lot of people got to deal with people who they think are crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like when it comes to relationships and shit, like, it's a little bit more difficult now because now people get, I guess, like a little bit more caught up in basically more scandalous activities because you got more
100%.
places to be scandalous now,
And even
bro.
outside
You know?
of that too, bro. Like, I'll add to that. It's because like I personally like being on the outside looking in on people interacting from a bartender's perspective, right?
Yeah.
At nightclubs and people coming out. It's one big facade, bro.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's faking it, bro.
Everybody's faking it.
Bro.
And everybody's trying to put on. And then sometimes, like you said, you get caught up in some bullshit.
Yeah.
And then now you ruining a good thing at home trying to impress some bitches you don't even know about.
Yeah, and you know what, bro? That same thing, that's like a good ass fucking, I guess, saying it's a facade, bro. Like, that's for so much shit in life, bro. There's so much people putting out facades, bro. Like, even with businesses, bro. Like, you got a lot of people out there, like, you know, obviously, I got so Badman is part of my LLC that's called All Fitness, which I wanted to get into later, so we get into that
Yeah,
later.
we'll get into that, yeah.
But, like, a lot of people, bruh, they try to put up this front that they got all this shit figured out for them with everything, bruh. And I feel like once you really get deep into like the business world, you really see there's a lot of people out there who try to make it seem like they got like $1 bajillion, bruh, or something like that, but you know, they broke as fuck, or they, you know what I mean? They don't have like, you know, like they try to make it seem like they're living like a lavish ass life, or like, you know, they got like infinity thotties. They got the cheat code for infinity money and infinity thotties, you know, but they don't have any of the cheat codes, bro. People really try to make it seem like they got cheat codes, bro.
The real cheat code, not even to cut you off, but the real cheat code is just being genuine, just being yourself. What that does is open so many doors for you, like mentally, emotionally, physically, relationship wise. If you're just genuine, like everything just unlocks for you. I don't know how old I was when I realized that. Yeah. Or if there was even any point in my life where I wasn't genuine. Yeah. But I think that's why I have a plan to like escape out of the corporate rat race world. Yeah. Because like you said, it's a facade. You got to put on a mask, and I can't truly be myself. Yeah. I cannot be genuine when I'm like dealing with corporate America. So you realize that you're like, all right, what can I do? Like kind of.
You feel like you walk on eggshells when you in that environment?
100%. 100%. I feel like you can't really like. Obviously, everybody's like in charge of their own emotions. Your emotions are your problems to an extent. But if something's bothering you, you have to address it. There's a lot of things that in corporate America that bother me with my work specifically that I can't necessarily address because it might cost me my job. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you got to just put on a facade, smile, and soldier on type shit. Yeah. So, I mean,
going back to like the pod we just recorded before, when you was talking about with your boss having that like interaction, did you feel like you weren't able to truly express the frustration you had?
No, I truly expressed the frustration. That's why I'm like, the mask came off. It was a situation where we were on the phone, he was yelling at me over some petty shit. And like, I was trying to explain my point calmly, and then he tried to cut me off. And that's when I just lost it. I just like started talking over him, and we were just having a shouting match. And then I realized, you know what? It's not worth it. Like, the real me will get fired. So let me just put on the facade until my day-to-day plan and the action plan that I've laid out for myself works itself out. Yeah. Let me just keep soldiering on type shit. It could always be worse. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's like we went off on a tangent here. Going back to what you were saying about relationships. Yeah. It seems like the advice you would give is to be kind of like have a balancing act, right? Because you got to be organic, got to have it organically, which means not forcing it. Yeah. But not forcing it doesn't mean not putting in any effort. Yeah. I feel like now a lot of dudes hear the whole like red pill alpha male type of content that's out there, and they're like, no, I'm gonna make the girl chase me. Where it's like, I feel like women, they want to be chased, and you kind of have to understand that. If you're out in the marketplace. Yeah, I want to say that like, there's some women who want to be chased, and there's some women who I guess want to chase too. I think it's just kind of like it's kind of dependent on the person, right? Yeah. So like, I think that this will kind of tie into what you were just saying, like, kind of dependent on, I guess, like circumstances. Corporate America, I feel like, can be kind of like basically like, you know, you got to walk on eggshells. A lot of times it's like that, you know. But when it comes to like having like your own business or some shit, bro, a lot of times it could be like that too, because you got to work 24/7 instead of just working like 8 hours or something like that, you know. So I feel like you gotta, with a relationship, it can be kind of similar depending on like the circumstances involved. Because let's say like my business takes off or something like that, or I become like a bajillionaire, I probably won't have to work 24/7 anymore because I have like, you know, $1 billion. You feel me? So like, there's certain situations I think that could be like, I guess, the same metaphorically in a relationship, where I feel as if like, if you kind of got to dissect the little intricacies when it comes to it, you know? And I think that like, every situation is pretty unique when it comes to that. But one thing I can say is that the red pill shit and all that type of stuff, I think is kind of troll. And I do think though that like, you know, you shouldn't simp. I think simping is like the biggest L. You know what I mean? That's the worst L you could take. Yeah, the simping is the biggest. I see like a lot of my guy friends, to be honest with you, like I see a lot of my guy friends like simping, and I'm just like, bro, what are you doing, bro? Like, simping is the fucking least dope thing, bro. I see some of my niggas who I love very much simping, and I'm like, bro, like, why you don't need it? Like, I feel like they try to put out on this image that they're not simping, and all. It's the same, because simping, bro, a lot of times is coping too, you know? Yeah. And it's putting on a different type of facade. It's like trying to put on a facade that you're not actually, because a lot of people aren't going to admit that they're simping. They're going to put like excuses like, oh, like.
I mean, 9 times out of 10, you are the thing you deny.
Yeah, you know that's true, yeah. And I feel like these dudes like that are simping, bro, like they are basically putting on a shitty facade, you know what I mean? And I think that that's like the biggest red flag. When it comes to dating, if there's a biggest piece of advice I could give like to guys nowadays, is just don't be a fucking simp, bro. Like, don't simp at all, 0% simpage, bro. I guarantee you, like you there's like a fucking correlation between simping and ability to get pussy, bro. You know?
It's a pretty even ratio.
Yeah. It's a huge correlation, bro.
The more you simp, the less pussy you get.
Yeah, bro. Like shit is inverse, bro.
It's like the fuck around and find out graph.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
There's an inverse relationship between simping and amount of pussy you get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And one thing I noticed too, bro, is a lot of people who I know who like, I feel like try to put themselves out there and make it seem like they have like hella girls or something like that, because these are dudes who are single, bro. A lot of times these niggas don't have any girls, but they just out there fucking taking pictures with fucking random girls. I'm just like, bro, that's like the highest level of simping, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But like, you know, like I don't know, that to me is the biggest. I feel like simping is more common now.
Yeah.
Or definitely more called out now, because I feel like back in the day you used to have like R&B singers that were basically simping, but the feminine energy that was kind of reciprocated was different too, you know? Because
I
like,
say now, bro, like at least like if you a simp, you really not in tune with yourself.
oh, for sure, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why, because you leaning on putting on a mask. To, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You doing the most to get something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why is
Simping
that?
and being genuine are mutually exclusive.
And it's one of those too, like, bro, like, why is pussy on your mind that much?
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
You doing the
bro.
most to get
That's
some
true
cutty right
too,
now.
bro.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
true,
hey,
yeah. No.
go fucking like follow your dream or some shit, bro.
That's true,
Hey,
bro.
it's like 50 said, bro. Chase the paper. They come with that shit, bro.
Yeah, that's true too. One thing I'll say.
Hustling backwards if you chasing a bitch. Like,
Yeah, one thing I'll say is a lot of my guy friends who I feel like basically are chasing, you know, basically the pussy, are not chasing the bag.
at all.
Yeah, that's one thing I'll say.
Let me ask you guys this though: have you fell victim to acting like that in your younger years? And did it take acting like that and then growing wiser and older and learning from it to avoid doing it again?
Oh yeah, I feel like most men probably could say that that they've seen.
It's one of two things happen if in order for you to not move that way. Either you got game from an older brother, an older cousin, older uncles that kept you, or you had to trial by fire, bro.
Yeah,
like,
you got your heart broken.
Your heart broken. Bro. Like you had to go through those experiences, or those experiences were taught to you.
100%.
And sometimes you have to go through those experiences.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now it's different if it's like, damn, bro, you 45 still doing the same shit.
Yeah,
Like,
well, I think most of my simping probably happened like when I was like 12, bro. To be honest, real talk, bro. Like, I think like when I was in middle school, bro, I was probably simping, bro. I know I was simping in middle school, bro.
I was for sure simping into my like late
bro.
teens, early 20s, probably early 20, 21.
Yeah, nah, dude. I was big simping in middle school, bro. I used to be on AIM with like all these shorties that I was in love with, bro. Like till fucking 3 a.m. just in love, bro. Like at 12, bro. And like, I think that was probably peak simpage of my life.
Hard eye emoticon XD.
Yeah. So you know, but yeah, no, I think eventually, like, hopefully you'd grow out of it. People grow out of it. You know?
100%.
Yeah.
Switching gears here. You mentioned earlier that you went to school for marketing and finance.
Yeah.
When you mentioned offline that you have 3 degrees, so name off those 3 degrees again.
Yeah. So I have just a business degree, like a normal business degree. I have finance and I have marketing.
Okay.
So you know, it's pretty solid set. I feel like a degree.
It's very solid.
Yeah.
So did you
That's
always?
Manic, bro. Like, I ain't even gonna lie. Like,
Yeah.
Did you?
How long?
Did you,
My bad, I didn't cut you off. Like, how long did it take you to get all 3, or did you simultaneously get them?
It took me like maybe like 7 or 8 years to get all 3. Yeah,
So like
7,
3, 4 type
Yeah.
thing.
investment.
It's
Or
about
2, 4,
7
3,
years. Yeah. And I mean like. Eventually, bro, I was low-key just stacking them. I was like, might as well. You know what I mean?
They open doors.
Yeah. And I think, like, especially as, like, I don't know, maybe somebody who has the same upbringing as me, like, I feel like there's not a lot of people who have that upbringing that have, like, been able to do that type of shit. So I was like, I wanted to, like, you know, kind of, like,
example,
be
bro.
the example, you know? Like, there was not a lot of people in my upper classes that looked like me or acted like me or talked like me. I would show up to my senior level classes with a do-rag on. I would show up there in like it's like basically this fit but with a do-rag on, and there was no one in there that was doing any of that. I want like and I would sometimes bro probably show up late, to be honest with you, because that was the type of person I was, and I would still get like almost 100% on all my tests because even like I feel like I really want this part of the bad man shit, bro. Same thing, like people like think that like you gotta act a certain way to do good in certain things, but you really fucking don't. Like what it's like there's different routes to the same goal, bro. You know what I mean? Real shit, there's different routes to the same goal, and I feel like that's one thing I really wanted to do, especially in college, bro. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be the guy who shows up fucking with a do-rag on and be like, you know, after I had just fucking hit the gym with the do-rag on and just be chilling in a class full of people that don't act like me, look like me, or probably don't have the same interests as me. You know what I mean?
100%, bro.
Yeah.
I can relate to that too.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you went to school for engineering, bro.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, my graduating class, I was the only black male.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I had, like, a class of, like, 300-400.
Yeah.
But would you say that you went to school specifically to get those degrees to pursue what you're pursuing now, or do you have plans of getting into corporate? And did you get into corporate after you graduated?
So yeah, when I first graduated, I did get into corporate. I mean, corporate is cool, and I actually got pretty lucky. Like with some of the people that were higher up than me were like super cool, and I really appreciate them. But like corporate, like kind of like how you were saying, you know, I feel like if you're in a situation where you feel like you could start your own business and shit like that, like. Especially because we're still young, it's like you might as well try, you know. Especially because corporate, like, it's like fucking like it's just like this cycle that they put you in, and like you only can get so far. You gotta be like not genuine in corporate, especially once again, bro. Like, I worked at a bank, right? And like I was the only mixed race person at that bank. I used to deal with hella microaggressions all the time, bro. Just like hella microaggressions, hella shit that was just like obviously a microaggression, like hella just like comparing me to other biracial people, like, and it's just
you look like Steph Curry,
literally.
Bro, the amount of times I look nothing like that.
Yeah, exactly. No, I know,
like,
you know how it is, bro. Literally that exact thing, or even like the country. I don't know if you know who Kane Brown is, bro.
Yeah.
The country people would come in and just be like, "Oh, you look like Kane Brown," but it looks absolutely nothing like me. You know what I mean? Like, but you know, like a lot of basically microaggressions I would get in corporate America, and I understand that these are basically microaggressions, that these people aren't trying to be racist and shit like that.
They don't know any better.
Yeah, exactly. But like, it's still shit you got to deal with, and kind of like, you know, things like that. It does make corporate, I think, maybe a little bit more difficult for people that aren't usually in corporate. Like I said, I was the only person, probably in the whole entire corporate level when I would go there, I was probably the only mixed race person there, bro. To be honest with you, like, and that's fucking crazy, bro. You know what I mean? I think there was one other guy, and he was like one of like the really, really high ups who was mixed. But other than that, bro, like, that's pretty fucking crazy. Because, like, obviously, bro, representation matters.
Representation matters.
Yeah, it matters in everything. And that's, like, another huge thing with the whole Badman thing, that I wanted to represent Caribbean people in the West Coast, because there's no Caribbean people in the West Coast. I wanted, especially when I was a kid, bro, like, it was confusing as fuck trying to explain my ethnicity to people. You know what I mean? Like, it was confusing as fuck trying to, like, explain, like, you know, how I'm all these things, but also still just Caribbean. It was confusing.
Like, is it to just kids or even adults at that time?
I think even adults can be confused. And
No,
even
I'm
now,
saying, like, when you had to explain it, was it even adults?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I feel like in the West Coast, especially because there's no, like, Caribbean people here, bro. And, like, I think a lot of times when people think of Caribbeans too, they're basically thinking of, like, maybe, like, a dark-skinned dreadlock dude from Jamaica.
They're thinking of Jamaica.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. They're not thinking of, like, I don't know, some mixed dude who, like, you know, fucking doesn't have dreadlocks. You know what I mean? Or, like, you know, doesn't speak, like Yaman all the time or some shit like that. Like, you know, and, like, I think, and on top of that too, like, my mom is, you know, Indian and African. Even though she's Caribbean, she's Indian and African. And I think a lot of people don't realize how much, like, Indians from India they are in the Caribbean. And I think that that's some shit that, like, people would get super confused of, because a lot of people see my mom and think she's, like, Ethiopian. I think I was telling you that before. Yeah, a lot of people think she's, like, you know, Ethiopian or Fijian or some shit like that, you know? And I think that, like, you know, that shit was probably hella confusing for them, especially because over here, there's not a lot of people who are African and Indian. So I think it just kind of, like, could not compute in their head. Or, like, you know, when I'd be like, yeah, my dad is, like, a white dude, but he's still Caribbean. Like, you know, most people aren't thinking of, like, you know, like, European Caribbean people, you know, like that. Most people don't even know that's a thing to this day, bro. Like, for real, I'll tell people, like, yeah, you know, my pops is European, but he's Caribbean, right? And they'll be like, no, that means he's, like, black, bro, or some shit like that. I'm like, nah, dude, like, he's European.
You gonna tell me what it is about my dad?
And now you gotta dive into the whole history of Guyana. And where everybody came from. That's a whole. I can imagine that's the whole thing to get into.
Because it's crazy too, the fact that you said, like, with your mom being two different races, right? You said she's black and Indian.
And my pops has Indian in him too, but it's like.
But they raised in a different culture. With, you know what I mean? So it's just like, I conceptually get it, because it's like the history of how those migrations happened. But it's like, they got Indian in them, but they're Caribbean.
Yeah, exactly, but they're Caribbean. I mean? But it's kind of like a thing where it's like...
everybody ain't going to be dark-skinned with dreadlocks.
And, like, you know, one thing that I feel like is a good example is, like, a lot of people from Latin America are mixed people, but, like, they've been in, like, I don't know, for example, like, Latin America for so long that, like, they're not... explaining their ethnic makeup. Like you're not meeting them and they're not saying, oh, I'm like half Native American, half Spanish or something like that.
Yeah.
You know? Versus like, for example, my dad is a European Caribbean, but since his family's been in the Caribbean for so long, they for sure got mixtures in them and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? A lot of people from my dad's side of the family are like, I have relatives that probably came from the same ship in Europe to Guyana and then to Trinidad and to like the rest of the islands over there. You know, I literally have family on my dad's side that is from like, you know, Antigua and from Trinidad and those places. And these are like my cousins from my dad's side or some shit like that, you know? So the roots are pretty deep, you know? Yeah.
Damn. I think I might have asked this earlier, but do you have any intention of ever visiting?
Yeah, so I mean, I do want to go to Guyana and see kind of like where my parents grew up. But like I've been to like the Caribbean. I've been to the Caribbean a couple times, and it's like it's beautiful out there, bro. And I do feel like maybe once again in the English Caribbean specifically, since there's not a lot of European people, like I kind of look a little different. Yeah. But like I do think still though I would want to go and kind of see what it's like over there, especially in Guyana where they grew up. You know?
Yeah, I don't want to tell you what you should do, but you said you want to visit where your parents grew up.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Because,
right?
dude, just speaking from experience, just delving personally, like, you know, I'm from Sudan, right?
Yeah.
East Africa. They're going through a civil war right now. You can't necessarily go back. But when I look at that and I, like, think back on all the times that I went back, I remember the first time I went, I was, like, 8 or 9 years old. My parents took me to the village where my dad was born and the village where my mom was born, which is like 30 kilometers away, and they met in college in the capital. But, and I'm talking like traditional African mud huts. The nearest city is like 45 minutes away.
Yep.
They get their water out of a well.
Yep.
They're literally living like farmers, like just they have herds of like cows and goats and camels, and they got to ride on donkey back to get to work. Like it's literally like farmer. They've been living that way since the 1700s. Like, I have, like, my whole lineage on my mom's side came up in that same village. My whole lineage on my dad's side came up in that same village. And to go and see that with my own 2 eyes for the first time, I was like, bro, that experience in and of itself just shaped me to be the person I am today. And it gives you a sense of who you are. You know what I mean? And I've been back several times. I haven't been back to either village since, like, 2012, 2013. But what that does for you, and like just seeing how your parents were, like how they lived and how they came up for your own 2 eyes, just is life changing for real. Like no, you can't place a dollar value on that.
Yeah, no, the way you're describing Sudan seems a lot like how my parents described Guyana when they were kids. You know, same thing where so they had to get their water from a well. You know, they had like basically farmland and all that shit, and like a bunch of people living in like you know basically mud huts and all that sort of shit, and that's. What I've noticed, there's a lot of parallels between like Africans from Africa and like the Caribbean people, and like that. I do really feel like it would be eye-opening for sure to go there and see the type of stuff that like you know my family basically had to grow up with and deal with. You know,
that's eye-opening, bro. And at the end of the day, we're all part of what they call the African diaspora. So like no matter where you go in the world, whether it's the Caribbean or Guyana, in my opinion, even here, like the roots of Black America. Like, you'll always find some similarities in like, how people do certain things or live their life. Even, like, the type of music that is, like, like the drum is an African thing, and it's a Caribbean thing, and it's a Black American thing. You know, there's a lot of similarities. That's why the African diaspora exists. But obviously, our histories are very similar. I mean, they're very different all over the world.
Of course,
But we all share those, like, we're all one big family, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. And I think that, like, that's one thing that I also kind of wanted to do when I was making the brand. It's kind of like show people that like you know even though like it might not necessarily be culturally relevant to you, it can be. You know, of course in this situation a little different because it is culturally relevant to both of us. Like you know we both are talking about how like you know the diaspora has affected our lives and shit. But like in terms of other things, like there's hella things that like. You know, culturally, like we do in life that we don't even realize that are not directly our culture, but we basically sync with it.
Exactly.
And I think like a lot of times, like, you know, you have people who shift the culture, right? And like that's like in my opinion the biggest dub. Like as a man, in my opinion, bro, if you can shift the culture, like not just as a man, but as a person, right? Like if you can shift the culture, then you just got the biggest dub, bro. Because that's like the hardest thing to do in life, bro. Like anywhere you go, like for example, like in the Bay we got Mac Dre, right? And he's like our GOAT, right? And like that he shifted the culture, bro. When Mac Dre came out, like he made everybody get hella hyphy, and they still getting hella hyphy to this day, bro.
Trendsetter.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like you be a trendsetter, bro.
Have influence.
Yeah,
all
that type of stuff. And I feel like there's people who do that, like, and they so like for example with influencers, right? They a lot of times influencers get famous off like some basic stuff, right? And like they don't really change the culture. They just getting money, and that's what's up. Like, you know, more power to them.
Yeah.
But like, if you could do that type of stuff and still shift the culture, this is why, bro, to be honest with you, even though, like, you know, to be honest with you, like, you know, Kendrick bodied Drake and all that type of stuff, I'm going to go ahead and say that. And
I knew where this was going.
Yeah. Kendrick bodied Drake, and, like, you know, and I'm West Coast more than I am a Drake fan, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm 100%.
You a Drake fan?
I'm a Drake fan, bro.
I enjoy Drake's music.
Yeah, I'm a Drake fan, but
With
like
that cut, you look like a Drake fan.
yeah, you know, like I'm a Drake fan.
Boy trying to go out to the club,
yeah,
dressed in a tank top and shorts, talking about I'm a Drake fan.
Yeah, bro, I'm gonna tell you, bro, I am a Drake fan, but I'm more West Coast for sure. Like, there's no doubt in my mind, bro. Like, I'm a West Coast nigga, but I was born and raised in the West Coast. I'm more West Coast than I am everything else, you know. So like Kendrick body Drake, but Drake did shift the culture a lot, bro. A lot of people, it's hard to doubt that Drake.
You can never discredit him.
You know what I mean? And like to do, and even people like Justin Bieber, bro. To be honest with you, those people shifted the culture. They really.
I put it this way: Icon shifted the culture.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, even like people.
DJ Khaled, bro, shifted the culture.
Exactly, you know.
What I mean?
Yeah, and like even like people like, you know, like OG artists like Eminem and Jay-Z and all those guys, like
icons.
Yeah, they shift. They fucking made a huge, and people like Rihanna. And like people like, you know, all those people. Rihanna actually put on for the Caribbean probably more than any contemporary artist has ever done, to be honest with you. And that's like so much respect for that. People like Beyonce shifted the culture. All those people, they shifted the culture, you know? And to do something like that, bro, that's, in my opinion, bro, that's like probably top 3 biggest dubs. Like I'd say like being a billionaire is a huge dub. Obviously there's some shit that comes with that. Yeah. But I feel, and some people could say there's shit that comes with shifting the culture too.
Oh, 100%, you know? Bro. Being different, you're always going to face something.
Yeah, for sure, bro. That's why ever since I was a kid, bro, I just stayed in my lane, bro. You know what I mean? Because I knew, once again, like I was saying, I knew there wasn't a lot of people that could really understand it out here, where I came from, all the shit I had to deal with. But now I know, bro, that it's actually dope, bro. Like, you know what I mean? When you're a kid, you don't realize how dope it is to be unique. But you get older, and then you like, fuck, bro, it's actually dope that I'm unique, and it makes me different, and it, like, I could use it as a standout, and people will a lot of people could gravitate to that.
That's
and, like,
100% true, bro. When you're younger, you try to kind of run away from that uniqueness.
Yeah.
I remember, like, being a kid, I'm like, damn, I wish my name didn't sound so fresh off the boat. But then the older you get, the more that contributes to your sense of self and confidence.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
People should embrace their individuality.
Yeah, that's why, like, you know, I try to kind of encourage my niece and nephew, like, because they're, like, the newer generation, right? Like, I try to encourage them to kind of embrace that type of stuff, you know? Like, and, like, even my little cousins that are, like, you know, teenagers, bro. Because when I was a teenager, I wasn't, like, you know, repping Badmon or trying to, like, you know, be like a real rude boy or Caribbean dude, you know, like I wasn't really trying to express like a lot of the stuff I saw at home, and I see a lot of people from immigrant families doing that, you know.
Yeah.
I see it even not just like in Caribbean people. Obviously in the West Coast, Caribbean is more unique, but I see people all across the world talking about how, like, you know, they came from this country and then they weren't necessarily represented, so they felt like they had to assimilate in a way that was negative to them.
100%.
You know,
yeah.
And I think like. You obviously there's nothing wrong in my opinion with assimilating, like, you know, like I feel like low key it's a good at times to assimilate, you know, but like you can do it in a positive way, and I feel like when you're a little kid you don't really realize that. You know? Yeah.
I mean, you got nothing to compare it to too.
Yeah. That's
because it goes back to what we were saying before. Like it was all about like trying to fit in.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah.
That's crazy that you mentioned that. Because I think that's the exact reason why my parents took me back to Sudan every summer. Because they were working on assimilating. For them, they knew they were going to lose their roots because they knew they were Sudanese. They didn't leave Sudan until they were like in their 30s. Yeah. But they were raising their kids in America, bro. Yeah. Raising their kids on the West Coast. Yeah. Their kids were beginning to like forget the language. Yeah. Beginning to be more American. So they took it upon themselves to every summer, we have to go back. We have to go back. I used to hate it, but the older I got, the more I loved it. And it was very, very important. And I think I'm going to do the same for my kids. It's very fucking important, bro. Yeah. Because it's easy to lose yourself here, man. You got to have like a sense of where you're tied to and where you're originally like from. And I know not a lot of people have that luxury, obviously. Yeah. But if you do, you should really like make use of it. Yeah. Because a lot of people would like kill to be in your position.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean? Cheers to that, brother. Yeah. For real. Cheers to
that. But just switching gears here, I wanted to talk about. You said you managed to leave corporate America, right? Yeah. So how do you spend most of your time now? Are you mostly like a physical personal trainer?
So I do personal training. I would say it's more like, I guess, on the side. I've been in finance just in general for a long time. I will say, I guess, like some people can maybe say I day trade, but like without getting too deep into it, because some of it is like some super mania shit in terms of like finance, right? Like I got really lucky when I first graduated college. In crypto. I'll just leave it at that. I got really lucky. By really lucky, I mean probably luckier than most people get.
You got in early?
I got in pretty early, and I met the right people, and Ronnie knows about this. I told him about it when we first, like, basically relinked. And, like, I don't really like talking about it because I feel like it makes me maybe come off as a douchebag or, like, maybe like, oh, this nigga trying to flex his money or some shit, you know? But yeah, no, I got in pretty early, and I met, like, the right people. And that's the thing with crypto, bro. Like, a lot of times with crypto and even in general finance, people don't want to admit this, but because traditional finance and crypto have a lot in common.
They do.
But like it's kind of like a lot of who you know at times, you know. And it's not like it's just it gets many. I'll just leave it at that. It gets many. But I did get really lucky, and I'm blessed. But it wasn't just luck. Like I had still like I know I basically had to have that idea, bro. You know, like I basically full sent that shit. I do that. I'm getting like 1 million notifications right now on my phone. Like this whole entire thing I've been getting. These are all like crypto notifications, bro.
Like hearing those little buzzes.
Yeah,
I keep checking out. I'm like, oh, my phone's recording.
Yeah, bro. I'm talking like, but yeah, no. I mean, I would say that like I met the right people. I ended up making the right moves. I kind of believed in the vision. I got all my paychecks in crypto, bro. When I was working corporate America, I got every single paycheck in crypto. I told my managers about it. I told everybody about it. I was like, bro, trust me. They were like, every single thing? Like, maybe you could put like a percentage. I was like, no. I was like, y'all got to trust me here. Like, I think that like if you think about how the internet has transformed the world, right? You think about like how much more globalized everything is now, bro. Like think about it. If it wasn't for the internet, bro, even shit like Badman couldn't exist. Shit like the podcast couldn't exist.
100%,
like the internet has globalized everything, bro. You can go on like back in the day, bro. Like I could tell people I'm from the Caribbean, and I could be like, oh yeah, my family's from the Caribbean, even though I'm so mixed. My family's from the Caribbean, and they would just have to take my word for it, right? But now I could be like, yo, my family's from the Caribbean. They're hella mixed. Here is why. You know what I mean? And people all around the world, even if it's like my mix is maybe a little bit more rare or something like that, like people from all around the world can still relate to that because there's still somebody out there who's like that. You know what I mean? Like, for example, you know, Tyler. Tyler is ethnically like very similar to me, even though she's from South Africa. You know what I mean? And like, because of the internet, I'm able to like, you know, learn things like that. And you know what I mean? I wouldn't like if it was pre-internet, bro. I wouldn't have known Tyler and me are like the same ethnic makeup, bro. You know,
in terms of like your African ancestry is similar to
my Afro-Indian and European ancestry. Yeah, she's African, Indian, and European.
Oh yeah, because South Africa does have kind of that same melting pot.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like one of those. Think about it, even on Wikipedia when you go, it'll be like British or like Nigerian British. You know what I mean? Like. People would be like from a certain country, but they're regionally identifying somewhere else. Like with Giannis, you know what I mean? He from Greek, but he's really what do you call him?
Nigerian.
He's
trying to like go that whole Greek freak thing. He's like, I'm Nigerian, bro.
But yeah, you know, and I think that like that's what's cool about the internet, and like, you know, like the reason why I brought that up is because crypto like is directly correlated to the internet. 100%. So if you believe that the internet has changed the world, which I feel like it's almost impossible to argue that it has or hasn't, you know, I mean, obviously it fucking has changed the world, you know, like then you pretty much are betting on crypto, you know, and that's why like even though I'm telling you, but you have no idea how much these corporate dudes were telling me, don't get all your paycheck in crypto. And I was like, hell no, bro. I was like, I'm going to get the whole thing in crypto. Every single dollar I earned, bro, in the corporate world, I put it into crypto, bro. Yeah.
Damn, bro. Yeah. Hey, but you know what? Shit, at least you got the last laugh.
You got to give him the finger and leave.
Yeah.
But
And
you know what? That also comes with it, going back to the fact that you got 3 degrees. You're educated in finance. You know what I mean? So when you stepped into the crypto world, you're looking at it from a different lens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus somebody who just getting into it.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
Of course.
So I feel like that plays a lot to the reason for your success.
I agree.
So don't ever discredit that.
For sure. Yeah, I agree. No, I think so too. I think that like I was saying earlier, there's a lot of overlaps between traditional finance and crypto, and I think that part of that too, bro. When I was taking these finance classes, bro, I really realized how much traditional finance, even though structurally it can be similar, like the structures that create crypto and traditional finance can be similar, but like the people behind traditional finance, these are some bumblecocks, bro. You know what I mean? These are people who really, it's a lot of old money there, bro. Yeah. These people really don't, bro, no matter what anyone says, these people really don't want you to like really take the money that they already got, bro. They're gonna put every single thing against you.
They're snakes.
Literally, bro. They try to
snakes.
make something. I feel like, you know, like these people at the very, like the top 1%ers, bro, they gonna pull all the strings they can to make it so that you can't get a piece of that pie, bro.
Oh, we can have a whole podcast topic on this.
Yeah.
You want to get into the Wall Street crash in 2008 and how all the average Joe was suffering, and the Wall Street billionaire was getting
bajillion dollars,
literally,
bro.
like, it all goes back to that.
Yeah, and that's why part of the reason I'm telling you, bro, ever since I was younger, and I think a lot of people can identify with this too. Ever since I was younger, I was always kind of like, it shouldn't be that way. I think that, like, I guess maybe going back to my pops, so even though it was in a different way, my pops kind of lived a similar lifestyle. He realized it shouldn't be that way. That's kind of why he did a lot of things he did, So that's why I ultimately got into crypto hella hard too. I was like, yeah, bro, like, internet is lit. Like, shit also shouldn't be this way. So I'm a bet on the thing that is directly tied to both those things. It's a cultural shift, bro. That's what it is. Like how we talked about earlier, like, it's a cultural shift. You know what I mean?
And you got in at the right time. So what year did you leave corporate America?
Bro, so I kind of left and got back in, but I ended up ultimately leaving in 2022.
Okay.
Late 2022.
Okay.
Actually, around the time my pops passed is ultimately when I left, because I was kind of like, that was kind of like, I guess like the straw that broke the camel's back, I think is the saying, I just kind of was like, my pops, one thing he always wanted was for me to start a business. And I was like, if my pops wants me to start a business, like, and I feel as if I have all of this maybe like cushion to start this visit right now, like I should probably take it and run with it, especially because it's like, when I'm like, I don't know, let's say me and Melissa want to have kids or some shit in like a few years, like, I'm not gonna be able to just say fuck it and start a business and I got kids, and who knows, bro, like, I'm probably not gonna be able to stack as much funds then too, because I'm gonna have to pay for other expenses. And like, but I can say though, bro, sometimes I miss corporate finance. Ultimately, sometimes I miss it because, like, in a way, it is more relaxing. Like, being in corporate America, obviously it fucking sucks, bro. But like, the pressure of just kind of knowing that, like, you gotta full send this shit or you're not gonna make it. That's like a next level worth of pressure, And that's part of the reason why I got the NASM certification, because I was like, that's always gonna be a side hustle, bro. And I feel like
might as well get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And if I got enough drive to like do all this shit, and I feel like I know a lot of people, and I feel like I got like a good base, like, you know what I mean? I feel like people, like, I don't know, like I was saying with y'all, like, I'm just genuine, and I feel like people resonate with genuineness. And I feel like if I could put that out into a place that needs the most genuine, I guess, people, which is like, like, basically like your self-esteem. That's like finance. That's like fitness and shit. Yeah, it's your self-esteem. And like, kind of like your health and all that. You need to be genuine when it comes to that, because if you lie about your health, like, you're just gonna get sicker or something like that. Then I think it would translate to that.
That's what's up, bro.
Yeah.
I guess with the whole. So you said you do your side hustle is fitness training too, right?
Yeah.
So I guess eventually with the Badmon thing, it's gonna be like a personal trainer / clothing brand as well.
Yeah. So like
what's the entity?
Yeah. So Badmon is actually kind of like I guess like a subgroup of All Fitness, which is what
you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah. Which is what the LLC is called. It's called All Fitness LLC, which I was hella surprised was available. Like, All Fitness, I feel like is just the most like fucking encompassing fucking name, bro. And like the reason why is kind of like has to go back to how I wanted to kind of incorporate all these cultures, bro. Because like obviously Badman, and I do want to like kind of extend Badman to people. I know if I have the name All Fitness, bro, like I can literally put everything into All Fitness, bro. You know what I mean? Like I got shirt ideas right now that are gonna be saying like All Fitness, kind of like in kind of like an arch like that, like an arch, and like it's gonna be like All Fitness in say Bay Area. I can do All Fitness like New York, All Fitness San Jose. I can do All Fitness Concord. You know what I mean? Like literally, you can fucking do anything with All Fitness, bro. But like, so obviously though, I do need credibility. Like I can't just be some random guy who's like, yo, fuck it, bro, I'm gonna just start a fitness brand. So that's why I was like, I gotta be credible.
Fuck it, you can.
Yeah, that's true. You could.
That's where it
starts.
Yeah.
We said, fuck it, let's start a podcast.
That's true. That's true.
We are, man.
That's true. Yeah, but I wanted to make sure I had like the NASM certification for that, and I was like, fuck it, dude. I decided to get the All Fitness name. I was surprised that it was there. I already got the design set up for All Fitness. I got a few shirts coming out. I got like a website that's about to come out. This was actually hella happy you guys had me on here because I think the website's about to drop next week.
That's what's up.
With like
I ain't gonna lie, this podcast ain't dropping for 3 weeks.
Oh, that's what's up. But I mean, honestly, it's good though because then I'll put out content.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Getting clips out, bro.
yeah.
Honestly, that's the biggest thing in this era now to like really push a brand.
Yeah.
It's literally clips, quick attention
Short
catching.
form.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
People can't like digest more than you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like
Niggas got the attention span of a squirrel.
Literally,
feel me?
bro.
Like, I give the average person 10 to 15 seconds.
Oh,
Even though
for
in
sure.
shorts and the reels, you can make them up to a minute.
Yeah.
But people got even then, maybe even 2 seconds.
Oh
3
yeah,
seconds.
for sure. I agree,
Yeah.
bro. Because that's all you really get to like latch them in. Here, bro. Let me show y'all the freaking the before picture, bro. Y'all got to see this, bro.
Yeah,
I want to see your
we get a lot-
reactions live,
real
bro.
life reaction.
Yeah, I want to see the real life reaction, bro. But yeah, no, I'm not even fucking with you, bro. Look at people. All these notifications just from crypto, bro. Look at that. These are all just crypto notifications. All these are just crypto notifications. Literally all this stuff right here. Nothing. That's all these buzzes, bro, that have been going off. All these are just crypto notifications. Literally every single one of these, bro.
That's when the D&D comes in handy.
But nah, bro, y'all really gotta see this, bro. It's pretty wild, bro. This was probably like a month after my pops had passed away, so this was like in the real deep section of like depression, bro.
So this before picture was probably like almost 2 years old now?
This is about like a year and a half. Yeah,
Year and a
and a half. Yeah, bro. It's crazy, bro. I'm like 5'9", 5'10", and I was like maybe like 220.
Oh shit, my boy put on some pounds.
Yeah, bro. I was big, bro. I was like light skinned Gucci man, bro.
Boy, no way that's shit.
Yeah, crazy, bro. Crazy, right?
Damn,
Bro,
crazy.
you look hella Puerto Rican now, for sure.
Yeah, nah, bro. I was big, bro.
Completely different person,
Big, bro. I was big. I was depressed.
Even your
bro.
face looks different
I
in that
know,
picture,
dude.
bro.
I know, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was wild, bro. Like I was depressed, bro. I was depressed. I was yeah.
I mean, that's some real life shit, bro. The
yeah,
fuck?
yeah.
So
nah.
that picture right there was day 0, and now here we are at day like 400 or
Yeah,
something.
probably day 400. Yeah. I dropped like in the first year, bro. I dropped like 60 pounds, bro.
Yeah.
I went from like 230 to like basically like 160, and like it was fucking crazy. But I went on like this thing called a protein sparing modified fast. That's like an extreme ass diet. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but it works fucking wonders. I kept most of my strength, but like I was fucking starving all the time, bro. That's one thing, but that's pretty extreme. But I felt like I had gone through some extreme shit, so I might as well try some extreme shit, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was bad, bro. It was bad. I was eating, bro.
So to think of where you were then to where you are now, obviously consistency plays a huge factor.
Yeah, for sure.
How
bro.
important is like just taking it day by day and accomplishing like a long-term goal?
Oh, bro, that's the most important thing. I would say like you got to be consistent, bro. You can't get nowhere without being consistent. But that's the hardest part about anything, bro. Like anything in the world, bro. If you're not consistent, it's so hard to show up every day, bro.
It's hard.
It's so hard, bro. That's why like I feel like I give so much respect to people that really climb, honestly, the corporate ladder and do that type of shit too, because you literally got to show up every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and like I was fucking grinding that shit out too, and like, you know, even like I said, like if you start your own business, you really got to show up every day, because if you're not showing up, no one's showing up. You know. And that's when I said like I guess like sometimes I miss corporate America for that exact reason, because like if you take your own lane, if you're not showing up, no one's showing up. You know.
That's real,
Yeah,
bro.
and like
That is fucking real.
you know, I think that being consistent, bro, that's the most important thing, bro. That's why I try to get, like, even, like, some of my close friends. Like, it's funny, bro, because, like, you hear about this when you're younger, that, like, you'll be able to have more influence on people you don't necessarily know. You know, like, these people will maybe, like, because they have less biases toward you and shit, you know?
Yeah.
But some of even my closest friends, like, it's harder for me to get them to I guess like change their ways, because I feel like they got these biases against me or some shit like that. And you learn about that when you're younger. Like in school, they teach you marketing, right? They teach you to become poppin' like in a place outside of your hometown before you get popping in your hometown, so you have more reach in your hometown, because people in your hometown just gonna look at you like how they looked at you when you were a kid or something like that. You know what I mean?
That's so true, bro. Goddamn.
So, you know, like, and you notice that too, bro, with people who didn't go to college, people who didn't go to 4-year colleges, what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
So, like, not I'm trying to bash people who aren't higher
No,
educated.
but this is facts, though, because I see it in my own life.
Yeah, exactly,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Like,
It's 100% facts.
a lot of my people that stayed in the East Bay, stayed in Concord, right?
Yeah.
And never moved out of Concord, they just stayed in Concord. A lot of them still act the same exact way that they did. And y'all know this. Yeah, they didn't grow. Yeah. Now, even like some of my people moved out of Concord and moved with the same people Does that make sense? So they did.
they didn't leave.
They didn't leave. Yes, they just took their concrete people and moved. And those people, like, they didn't really grow, you know? And I feel like you don't really...
Bro, life is about meeting new people,
Exactly,
having new
exactly.
experiences.
Being uncomfortable to grow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because then now it's like you can sit back and, like, you can. I'm sure you can. I know I can. I sit back and, bro, I got multitude of groups of friends.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And each of these different groups and each of these different people, like, do different things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's always quid pro quo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's always give and take. But it's just like everybody like adds something to it. You don't get that if you're not somebody that branches out and do stuff. If you're around the same social group your whole life, it's like, unless you guys are just like, damn, bro, we the 3 most interesting men in the world and we're just doing everything. It's like, damn, that's a badass squad. Like, you know what I mean?
But
Like,
hey, another side of that too is like, I feel like some people take it to both extremes. It's like, you can have your quote unquote day ones, people that you grew up with, right? And branching out doesn't necessarily mean abandoning those people.
Well, yeah, it's not
'cause that's
cutting
fucked
off.
up too. But like at the same time, there has to be an understanding from the people in your circle, from back home or wherever it is that you came up out the sandbox, right?
Yeah.
If those people do the same thing that you do and branch out themselves, but then you still maintain that connection, it becomes even stronger than ever now.
100%.
Because now
Yeah.
they're your day one, and they're on that same growth mindset that you was on.
Yeah.
They got their own network, you got your own network, and you
Yeah.
can kind of
Network,
interconnect
yeah.
each other.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
beautiful thing, bro.
Yeah, and that's like basically real niggas, bro. You know what I mean? It's hard to find like people like that, bro. To be honest with you, like, and one thing when I was watching y'all podcast, bro, like even back in the day, I could see y'all really had that mindset, and that's part of the reason why I helped fuck with it. To be honest with you, y'all got that growth mindset.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Appreciate it, man.
Y'all got that growth mindset, and that's rare, bro. You know what I mean? It's hard to meet people, especially people like. I'm sure you know, because like we grew up obviously in a similar place. Like I'm sure you know, there's a lot of people from back home that are still stuck in like basically high school, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm sure people from your
Yeah,
hometown, same
100%.
thing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's cause, bro, it's going back to that network. You just stuck in the same network
Yeah.
with the same people.
Yeah.
What you said about people see you the same way.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You're defined by your past, and and it's crazy too because it's like in that situation, it sucks for those people because they're defined by who they were when they weren't even fully grown yet.
Yeah, well, you know, you see a lot of people that basically peaked in high school, bro.
Oh,
You know what I mean? You
100%.
see a lot of most people, bro. To be honest with you, most people I feel like you could say like probably peaked in high school, unfortunately. And it's not just like looks; it's like fucking like everything, bro. You know, like their whole
Energy,
Yeah,
drive,
exactly, you know?
My glory days
ambition.
were then.
yeah, and like I see a lot of like people who I grew up with that like I feel like so desperately just want to like be like fucking future Trunks from Dragon Ball Z and just time travel and fucking live, you
back
know,
to high
live
school.
in
Yeah.
fucking high school forever, and they even like
That's crazy.
and they even fucking hold the same values that they held back then, like the same esteem they put on those values. They still hold that because they want to live in that moment so bad, bro. And that's a pretty big social issue, bro. In my opinion, you know what I mean?
It is.
You know,
But hey, man, I mean, not to bash anybody, but everybody's situation is different, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, like all you can do is try to like help those people see it from like a different perspective.
Yeah.
But there's always going to be an inevitable kind of animosity towards you when you try to do that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of tough to navigate sometimes.
Yeah,
you know? So
yeah.
like you can come in with good intentions and then you can feel the energy's kind of off. They don't have to say nothing directly.
Yeah.
But you can feel the
But
energy.
that's on them, bro. Like, I'm at a point now where it's like, I don't give a fuck how you feel.
100%.
That's perfect.
But it took me a while to
yeah.
get to that point, you know?
Yeah,
what
I
I mean?
mean,
agree.
facts,
I agree.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just like, damn, bro. Like, and you gotta understand, like, damn, bro. If your energy is able to sway a room like that, even in a way it makes somebody like you got some real.
You got some type of power.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
You got a presence about you. So.
Yeah. I think that's a J. Cole bar, right? Where he talks about how like if you make the room uncomfortable, like it's a good thing. I don't know if I'm right about that or not, but I think that was a fire ass bar. I remember hearing that and thinking that's a fire ass bar.
Damn.
If you make the room uncomfortable, then you
Yep.
got the power to sway the room. You know,
Yeah.
that's fire, bro. And I think that's true. You know
It
what I
is
mean?
true.
Hey, but how y'all feel about the shirts, bro?
I like
how
the
y'all feel about the
t-shirt, bro.
shirts?
I like
Badmon Fitness, man.
Yeah.
I like it. I
I like
appreciate it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been looking at you.
I'm
guys
actually about
doing
to.
shit.
Hey, I got you, bro. I'm gonna do a little workout, a little video.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. Hey, can I
bro.
take pics of y'all in the shirt? Is that cool?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, make
Hell yeah.
bro, I be editing and making it look hella dope. So
Oh,
Fuck yeah,
easy,
bro.
my guy.
yeah.
But hey, let the people know where they can find you on social media and where
Yeah.
the website, because by the time this episode comes out, your website's going to be out.
Yeah. So I haven't finalized the website name. I'm gonna finalize that later. But you can find it Badman Fitness on Badman Fitness at IG.
Mm-hmm.
You can find my personal page at original_AG. That's also on IG.
We gonna have all these tagged.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
don't have it
yeah.
in the description.
Yeah, and like there's hella more stuff coming out. We got All Fitness. That's ultimately what the brand is. So we got the whole All Fitness thing coming out. I got like people about to rock this shit. I got hella things in the work, but I've been working so hard behind the scenes trying to make it like as powerful, as powerful as I possibly can, you know. And you know, like once again, like it's just something that I really want to, I guess, extend to everybody. I really want to, like, you know, I guess shift the culture, like how we were talking about earlier. That's really important to me, you know. And you know, have a good time with the boys while I do it. Have a good time with my people while I do it. You know. So that's really what it's about, bro.
And bro, I mean, it's before we hit record, I'm just thinking, hey, this is just the fitness thing. But now I see the vision and the purpose, and I'm rocking with it, and we appreciate you coming on, bro.
I appreciate 100%. You too, brother. Real talk.
Yeah. Good shit, my
real
guy.
talk,
Good
brother.
shit.
Yeah, no, honestly, bro, like it's really been a trip. You know, it really has been a trip. And I really think there's a lot of good stuff that's gonna come out of it.
100%.
You know,
you gotta just, like we said on the last episode, enjoy the process.
Yeah.
Bro, more blessings will keep coming your way.
Yeah. More. But what time are we at now?
Shit, we had a cool hour and 15.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
It's like 3:15. We got more time though, right, or what? Oh no, we don't. 4.
Buddy.
We're done. Damn.
See how time flies?
That's
Yeah.
crazy, bro.
One conversation.
That's
time flies,
crazy, bro.
You forget you're even recording.
Yeah, no, honestly, bro, it was pretty lit. It was
Yeah.
pretty lit. It was really, really lit. It was
man,
dope,
keep it
yeah.
smooth.
Go ahead and wrap it up here, Ronnie.
Well, shit, man. On behalf of the 2 Coin Podcast, it's your boy Ronnie.
And I'm your brother Waleed. The other side of the coin, we are signing out.
Yeah.